Okay, so now here's what I would do for this solution of dynamically through our logic, our conditional logic, create the TR and the TDs. Okay, so do keep in mind before I move into this, the logic that we're writing here, the reason I like bringing it now is that writing logic, conditional logic, right, is what you'll be doing for the first step of your develop your app. Okay, that's why we've talked about if statements, we've written them, but now we're digging a bit further into them to hopefully give some of that just-in-time relearning these concepts. Okay, I'm going to move over to my editor. And here's how I'm going to approach this. First thing is I'm going to get rid of this. I no longer need it. I'm going to get rid of this. I no longer need it, and give myself some space here. So in the block scope, right, that is this render. Right, I'm doing the for each. We know about that. And then in the for each now, I want to create the TR. So the first thing I would do is take this and move it here. And the reason I would do that is so that in my logic, I could just reference the TR that is already there. And when I look down through here, I would go, you know what, this and this and this and this. And I could just get rid of them or no longer going to be needed, because here I was building those TDs by referencing the item and now, or the key and the values. And now I don't need to do that because I'm iterating over that object conditionally. Okay, so the one thing I would do here is when I want to build it, and I could keep the, build it in there, I would say const td equal document dot create element. We've done this before, right? TD. So create the element, create, in this case, the row, and then I'd say td dot text content equal. Now here is the part that may have thrown you, because what do you want is you want the value, right? So whatever that value is. Okay, so TD value, and now what do we do with that TD value at this point, right? Because we're iterating over. Every time we find one, we build it, right? And so think about it. What do we need to do? We need to do TR append child TD. Okay, so every time we're iterating over, creating a TD, setting its value, append it to the TR that we created outside. And again, this would then refer back to your scope within the for each to have the reference. Okay, so now we're not done, right? But what we could see at this point is, does our logic at least, right, give us what we want? So the way we could do that is I would move over to the browser. I would refresh just to make sure I have my latest code. Yeah, I got it right there. I'd put a breakpoint here, right? And now I'm going to do first, last one, so we know it's the first one. Okay, apartment. And now I'm building my first item. Let's see if I got it right. My TD in this case would be, right? Actually, we could just look up here and see what's the key, first name, right? So now here I could go down and go, what's my TR looking like? Great. The TD in the TR, again, the column within the row, is correct. So now I'm going to keep running through, knowing, okay, skip it, build it, skip it, build it, get all the way to the end. Points, house points, total. Okay, so now that I'm at total, right, I've appended my TR. So if I look at my TR now, I could say, oh, I have all 4 items that I want, right? And now I'm dropping out of here, Okay, so if I hit next, then it falls to, because I have commented out these, now it says append that TR. So let's let it do that. Okay, we're out of there. And now, and again, every step is important to understand. Oh, actually, yeah, no, that's right. So now I have the T body. I can look at that structure and go, yeah, I got the TRs. So now I've got the body wrapped. That's what that line did. And now I'm going to append, and look at that. So I have the 4 values I want conditionally output. Now I can immediately see what's the next challenge, right? As soon as you fix one, now you have the next one to do. What is it? And this one's pretty easy, actually, right here. So, but this part of our logic worked, but we're not really done testing here. We want to do this again. Why? Why do we want to do this again? Okay, because when we do it the second time, we're testing to make sure our looping for both the array and within the object work correctly. Okay, so I'm going to let that run. And it did. Look at that. Okay, and that's what you want to see. So if you see them all bunched up together, most likely the issue is not declaring the TR before you move into the loop over the object entries. Okay, now let's fix the heading thing, because it's pretty easy. We actually, if you remember right up here, right, we took these out. So now we want, without the action, we just want these. We'll do the action. I think we'll get to it next time. We'll see. I got some other stuff I want us to do. So first, last, I'm going to put 1. Render that. I'm just going to let it run. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that and see, did my heading? Yeah, my heading looks great. And so I'm going to do first, last, okay? And then I'm going to do 2, just so we can see the difference, right? Great, 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 great. Okay, now one last thing I'm going to do before I end this, because I think it's good to talk about this as we move into the next section. When I look at this code, this if block, this if logic here, I really, right, I have something on the else, but I'm really not doing anything here on the, right, if on the skip it. So how could I make this, right, more, because again, I don't want to use an else if I don't need it. So how could I change this? And this would be a great challenge, but I'm just going to show you, because I think if you've never done something like this, it can be a little, will demystify something, hopefully. So we're doing strictly equals here. So what would happen if we say not? So if we say not equal, okay, so not equal, not equal. Then could we take this logic here and just bring it up here? Because now we're just flipping it. Not says not equal. So if it's not equal to any of these, right, then we'd want to build it. Now I'm going to do this, just to this. Now in that case, we could drop this. Look at that for a minute and see if anything pops out to you. We're going to run it. Okay. But does anything pop out to you? Let's see if it works. Okay. First, last, 1, apartment, run. Oh, look what happened. Why would that have happened? Okay. And the key would be, and this is the kind of troubleshooting you want to think about, because when you say key not equal to this, key not equal, right, this is ORs. And in this case, all of them would have to be true. Okay, is it not equal to last name? So, you know, or is one of the, sorry, I'm saying that wrong. So in this case, when you're saying not, right, is the key not equal to this? Is the key not equal to this? Is the key not equal to this? So when we are flipping it like this, we actually want to change this to and, because we want the condition to be right? If any of these, if the key is not equal to any of these, then build it. If you're unsure of that, why that didn't work, right? Go down, set your breakpoint, and look at, copy and paste that in to see. Remember, all of the conditions have to be, right? In this case, in the ORs, only one of them has to be false for it not to run. But when you're checking the condition and you're saying and, they all have to be true. So this has to be true, right? Not equal. This has to be true, not equal. And that has to be true. And by writing it this way, and we'll just verify this now, okay? Let's do it first. Let me see if I got it right. Last one apartment. Okay, so let's see. Great. But the key is, like we saw before, right? We want to make sure whenever we have more than one that it creates that row correctly. I can get rid of those console.logs because we no longer need them. And then it does do two, which, by the way, we could talk about that this is inefficient, but at this point, right? And here's the other thing I would do. I'd get rid of this code, because only thing we have left to deal with now is actually, and it's a big deal, is bringing these buttons back, because we'd also want to make them operational, which is something we'll do. I think, well, I don't know. I'm going to give this some thought about what we're going to do next. But this code is good to study and to think about and to understand. Go back and look at, right, when I had each one equal, right, and we had the OR, how, when you have multiple conditions, these have to resolve. So if it's, right now I'm just writing in code, you don't have to write this part, right? What it does is it actually it evaluates that expression, and it says, is it true, right? Or is it true, or is it true? Right? Now these could be false, and if at least one of them was true when I was using the OR, then it would have run this. But by changing it, like I did, to be and, right? They all have to be true. It can't be this, it can't be this, and it can't be this by using the not equal. And again, what we're doing is we're making decisions. That's right. The reason I'm tying this back is to help you understand the whole idea of decision making in your code. Because we've been doing some light decision making, but now we're actually bringing it back because it's time for you to start thinking about writing your decision code. Okay, so here's what you want to do here. I think if I haven't updated it, right, so this will be my solution, and then you'll want to give me any updates you did to your code. And if you didn't, make a comment in your code and just tell me you didn't need to update it. But going forward, it is really helpful. The closer you are to my code, for those who are very new, the better the experience can be. And if you do have experience, just know that you need to make sure you have that functionality in there. All right, this will be the last one, so commit your history URL for this one.